And good evening. Thank you for tuning into SkillmanLive, where we connect music and people together, especially during this difficult time. Please support us by simply share the stream or follow us on Facebook page or simply subscribe to our website at SkillmanLive.com. We also want to thank our friend at the Violin channel for sharing the stream. Now, without further ado, let me introduce you to our guest artist today, violinist Todd Phillips, who is a member at the Orpheus Chamber Orchestra, Orion Quartet, and faculty of numerous conservatories including Manhattan School of Music, Manning School of Music, Rutgers University, and Bard College. I'm sure Todd is a familiar name to many of you who is watching right now. It's also a great pleasure to have our pianist, Rachel Yunkyung Choo, on the show with us today. Ms. Choo has performed with numerous orchestras, including Korean National University of Arts Orchestra, Gangnam Symphony Orchestra, TBS Broadcasting Orchestra, Juilliard Orchestra, and Rutgers Symphony Orchestra. Ms. Choo is currently a DMA candidate in piano performance at the Rutgers University. Her undergraduate and master's studies was with Veda Kablinski and Matti Ricalio at the Juilliard School. So without further ado, I would like to introduce you to our guest today. And hello, Todd, can you hear me? And Rachel?
Yeah.
Hi.
Welcome to the show. Thank you for doing this.
Sure.
Thank you for having us.
So first of all, because I'm sure many of the people, our friends in New York City, will know the situation, but we're broadcasting this all over the world. So could you just tell us, where are you these days?
Well, I'm at home in Brooklyn and not really going out much. Just we take some walks and buy some food, and that's pretty much it.
So do you have enough toilet papers?
Yeah. Actually, yeah, we have a lot. So if anybody needs some, just let me know.
That's great. And Rachel, what about you?
Oh, I'm in Manhattan, my house, quarantined for about, 14 days by now. And then actually I had no toilet paper, so I had to ask my friends to send some. So now I have 6 rolls.
Oh, that's great. So looks like we're all pretty rich at the toilet papers at least. So, I mean, right now with the given situation, most of the conservatories have closed. And I'm sure that's the case, all over the world at the very moment. How are you guys still be working, teaching your students?
Well, yeah, everyone's gone to online teaching, which of course isn't ideal. And there are many platforms that are being used. One of them is called Zoom, and some people are using Skype, like what we're on now, and some are doing FaceTime. The sound quality is not great. It's difficult, but what's nice is that we can still have this contact. We can still get some work done, together, and for musicians to all of a sudden not have any outlet, and especially as you're studying, to sort of lose contact with your teacher is not a good thing. So we're so lucky that actually we have this at least, to be able to maintain contact and talk about artistic things and continue their development. So it's really hard, but it's so worthwhile. Yeah.
And Rachel, as we know, you're doing a DMA candidates at the Rutgers University. So how are you be able to still take lessons from the university?
So maybe thankfully, I'm done with all my coursework and the lessons, so I don't need to take any more lessons. But actually, I'm teaching this course at the university right now, and then everything is went online. So actually, we're using Canvas as a platform for the students to upload the assignments and then be connected with the students. So so far it's going okay, but it's hard to get connected with the students because it's not in the classroom setting.
Right.
So so we're not the attendance is not anymore the part of the grading And then, but yeah, I mean, it's such an adventure. Everyone is doing this adventure thing.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, that brings us to a very good point, which is, Todd, you're faculty in so many different schools, so I'm sure you're teaching a lot online these days. Is there any tips you can share with us, with the educators out there who are having the same issues these days?
I mean, there are some extra settings that one can use on your computer for Zoom, especially. That's been circulating around all over different faculties, and I'm sure just about everyone's probably gotten an email about that at some point. I mean, I think it's really just, one can't expect the same, quality of sound. So, you're talking about timings, you're talking about, of course, one can hear, for string players, intonation and characters and that sort of thing. But one thing that has been helping is that we've also been asking our students just to send sometimes even just a very small portion of what they're playing, whether it be a page or a movement or whatever. And already just recording it on their iPhone and sending it in a file, all of a sudden, the sound is like, oh my God, this is so much better. Yeah. And it used to be, oh, that's so terrible. But so now we've changed our our standards so much. But one can really hear pretty much everything then. So what's nice is they can send this recording, and then I listen to it, and then we can talk about it in the lessons. And it really it adds a little bit more of the realistic dimension to the to our discussions, which is really nice.
Well, that's great. Thank you for sharing that. I mean, this pandemic's being really the problem with everybody around the world, and especially for artists and musicians out there. Many of them are losing jobs, and this at the current situation, it's impacting the industry greatly. And Todd and Rachel, what do you guys think the impact will be for the future of our industry? How is this going to change a lot of things that we've been doing, and how is this going to affect many of the artists out there?
What do you think, Rachel?
So, I mean, I really hope that this pandemic subsides soon so that everyone is coming back to the normal life, including myself. But I think there is also the solidarity going on now. So everyone is kind of like trying to connect to each other and then help each other. And then actually for me, I haven't done much of the social media before, but I meet so many artists and musicians through Instagram and then Facebook pages. And then and then they want to do some projects and then the virtual concerts like this via those platforms. So I think in the future, maybe the related application or the platform will be released more, because the problem that we are having in terms of doing ensemble for now is there's no way we can like 2-player or more than like 2. It's impossible because of the delay, the 20-second will like piles up and then it's just impossible. So I don't know, but it will be, so for now, we are just recording ourselves and then like send to each other, and then we edit the sound and then mixing it. But I don't know, but I see so many possibility, and then many will go online, like teaching and concert, and then I see actually many great artists, like Isa Parman gave a demo, the short video clip of his teaching something, and then everyone is actually sharing many of that. So yeah, I mean, I'm sad that we're going through this pandemic, and then I really hope this will go soon. But at the same time, I'm kind of very excited to see what's coming in the future for us.
And Todd, would you like to add to that?
Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely. And I think having to do this is getting people to think out of the box. And I mean, I do feel that concerts have been already migrating towards not just always your classic, go to a concert hall and listen to a concert. There have been many more innovative venues and very often smaller venues too, which a lot of people really love attending. So in a way, it might be sparking people's imagination because we think, well, we have to do something. So I'm sure a lot of things will come out of this. And then when we finally do get to play concerts again in the concert hall, I get the feeling there's going to be a lot of enthusiasm on both sides of the stage, from the stage and from the audience.
I hear that. Well, I totally agree with that, and we all hope that this pandemic will go away as fast as possible, and we'll be back to the regular, normal life again. So, Todd and Rachel, let's talk about the Sonata project we've been doing.
Well, I guess what, it was a couple of years ago. I kind of just thought, well, I've played a lot of Beethoven, but I've never actually done all the sonatas sort of in a in an organized way. I studied some of them, I performed some of them, but never sort of as a body of work. And then I said, well, maybe I'll do them at some of the schools where I teach. And then I'm thinking, well, who's gonna want to do that? That's a lot of time and effort, And but Rachel, she plays for a lot of my students at Rutgers, and I always enjoyed her playing so much, and then she knows me so well from having sat there and listening to me teach, quite a few, dozens of lessons, and so anyway, I got her to do it. And it's been really a wonderfully rewarding project. So yeah, we did them at Rutgers, we did them at Manus. We're in the process of doing them at both Manhattan School and at Bard. There are a couple other single concert places where we're doing them, including the Aspect Music Foundation and Queens College and CUNY. So it's turned into this kind of big project. So then we thought, well, maybe we should record them. And Rachel knew about you, Wei. She said, there's this really good studio here, and he's really nice, and he does a great job. And so we decided to try it once, and now we have two sonatas that we released on YouTube. Number 5, the Spring Sonata, and number 10, and this one tonight. And now we're working on releasing the C minor. So we're almost halfway through recording the whole cycle of 10 sonatas.
Well, that's great. And Rachel, I hope you've also had a great time by doing this project. Is there anything you like to talk about?
I still remember, I actually remember the date that I got the email from Todd talking about this project, because I was back in Korea and then just literally just relaxing. And then I opened my email, and then boom, Todd was like, oh, you want to do this project? Oh, I totally understand if it's too overwhelmed, too much for you. And no way. It was such a privilege for me, of course. And then I learned so much from just playing with Todd. And then, yeah, it was such a great opportunity for me. And then, I learned so much. So people say that, oh, are you a collaborative pianist? Because I do a lot of collaborative stuff. But as a solo performer, who's majoring in the piano performance, I believe that it's also equally important to be able to play with someone else, because doing ensemble is not easy, and then you learn so much from other instruments, how the composer wrote other instruments. rather than like only knowing about the piano part. So, and then of course, since I did lots of accompanying for a competition and then auditions, I only got to play all the major, I mean, not major, but famous ones. But I got to learn number 10 because of Todd. I never played it before, but it was such a gem. Like especially the second movement of that sonata is really beautiful. So I mean, I encourage everyone to tonight, like join us to go listen to number 10 on our YouTube channel.
Well, that's
Well, that's right. You
great.
should tell what our channel's called.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Well, no
String,
problem.
bow,
Yep.
strings, bow, and hammer. Yes.
Well, for the audience out there, we'll make sure we'll put a link down below so you can find it easily after the show.
Thank you.
Well, before I go into the next session, I just want to thank you, both of you, for working with me. It has been such an honor and pleasure, working on those Beethoven Sonata projects, and I'm sure we'll have more exciting projects coming up for our audiences to watch.
Great, thank you. It's
So,
been a great pleasure.
thank you. So
Thank you.
before we go into the performance part, I just want the audience out there to know this is a pre-recorded live recording. We are obeying with the orders from the government that's try to stay social distancing. We're about at least 3 miles away from each other, so that's right. But this show was recorded live, and we'll be right back with you with the live performance. Thank you.
you.